Hello and welcome to the Live Sports in New Mexico show. My name is Chris. I'm here with my friend Brian, and we're here to talk about our faith in sports and what it could do for us as coaches, as athletes. We're having a really fun time with this. Thank you to Legacy Church for allowing us to do this, Proview Sports. If you're looking for a church to go to attend, Legacy Church is awesome. We have a great pastor, and Pastor Steve, who does use a lot of sports analogies, which is one of the reasons why I like him. Pastor Brian is our middle school and high school pastor, so if you're out there and you're in high school or middle school, Pastor Brian does a great job making it a fun atmosphere for you guys to learn more about Jesus. So today we're actually going to talk about, since it's kind of that off-season time, spring break, summer break. I mean, it's all coming. So I think it's really important to kind of talk about how, as athletes, we could really utilize those spring breaks and summer breaks. What was your typical spring break?
Right. Well, I think the first idea with spring break is like, okay, it's break time.
Right.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit back and relax and do nothing, nothing. And a lot of times that was my attitude, especially growing up. Now, I know there's a time we need to rest. We need to rest our bodies. But spring break is a critical time, I think, to set yourself apart from the competition. Season's over. It's a time to evaluate where you are, how you finished, and where you want to be next year. And so I would encourage you, and we're going to talk more about it today, and we have some great guests on the show with us as well, but take this spring break and use it to your advantage, to set yourself apart. Keep working hard during spring break. Use it as an intentional time to evaluate where you are and where you want to be, and then put in that work, so you're going to be that much further ahead than your competition.
All right. It's funny because I'm working with some of my student athletes right now and working at different times of the day, but I have 3 athletes that are working. We're working out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's awesome.
And for some reason, even for me as an athlete, I was like, man, something about 6 o'clock in the morning felt even better. I mean, maybe because it's dark outside, or it's just everyone's still asleep, and I know I'm getting better, getting that edge. So it's just that one thing that that got me that edge. Even though everyone else is resting or doing whatever, I understood that this is my time to get the edge. I don't want to be just sitting the bench or coming off the bench or just staying in the role I'm in. I've always wanted to really get better from it.
And that's awesome. And we've talked about it before, but being good and being just great, and being good or being average is the enemy of being great, because we settle sometimes. So what are some things you do, Chris, to set yourself apart from the crowd, to make sure that, hey, you're not just settling for average, but you're going above and beyond?
I think it really has to do with the time you use, or the time you have. We all have the same amount of time, but it's how we use it. And I've always thought, like, what's the best way for me to use my time? Partying wasn't one of them. I thought that was a waste of time. Even just sitting around just watching TV, maybe just not really any educational TV. Sometimes I would watch basketball games and try to learn from there. But just when I felt stagnant, when I felt like I wasn't doing anything, it kind of gave me that edge. It's like, you know what, this isn't working out. I'm not using my time wisely. And there is time for rest, and we do definitely need that time we need time for rest, but it has to be the right amount of rest. Are we taking it easy? We're eating the right foods? Are we saying, oh, rest time, or rest time is going to a party or going out somewhere, and then you're waking up late? So it was always just make sure I use my time wisely, was always getting that edge.
So you mentioned a couple things like partying, watching TV. What are some other time wasters that you've been able to identify throughout life or working with students?
Well, I think even now, especially in this generation, is definitely social media. I think that's something that's really, really huge. And a lot of coaches, traditionally, a lot of coaches, what they'll do is they'll take away a team's locker room, they'll take away their jersey, it's something, just something that they hold valuable. My coach did it one time when we were struggling. He made us go change in the visitors' locker room, the really small locker room. And so that kind of sent a message. But I think today, what would be really important, I think, for coaches out there is to know that maybe if you take social media away from them, then that's something more valuable. Then I think you'll see a benefit from that. You'll see, man, that these kids are going to be using their time wisely. And even Coach Alford at UNM, he didn't let us have Twitter. I think that really helped me, where I'm not scrolling through, seeing how many likes I get. And it really, scientifically, it shows that we feel better when we get likes. So that's why we're so attracted, and we're so You know, we always want to look on social media, is like seeing how many people looked at Snapchat or seeing how many people like my photo or whatever it is, like my status, who commented on it. So I think social media has definitely hurt a lot of student athletes today.
You know, and you brought up something earlier before the show that maybe we can touch on. But social media, one of the things about it is that we see everyone's highlights. We see the greatness of everyone else. We see everyone's perfection. The truth is, no one's perfect, but we're comparing everyone's highlights with our behind the scenes.
Right.
So it makes us feel inadequate, makes us feel not good enough. It makes us strive for this impossible level of perfection. And then you found a quote that kind of has to do with that. Will you kind of explain what that is?
Right. Yeah. So the quote is, "We obsess over perfection while forgetting the process of imperfection it takes to get there." So we're always, what it kind of really means is like we're always trying to be perfect, and that's fine, but we have to realize that there's no such thing as a perfect human being. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to need to go through that process. So that's what we got to think when we're working out, when we're trying to get better. Don't just do drills just to take it easy, or you don't take, you know, non-game like shots. So that's what we really have to focus on as student athletes, or wherever we're at. We have to know we're going to make mistakes, and we got to kind of put ourselves in that position where, hey, we're going to come to that breaking point, and we're going to see if we get better or not get better.
Yeah.
There's drills I have my student athletes go through, and it's, if you're not messing up, then you're not working hard. You're not pushing yourself to that limit. And then eventually, you know, you won't mess up as much, but still you kind of find
And then
that
mistakes,
limit.
I think, help us learn what not to do. They help us get better, so we can't be afraid to fail, afraid to make mistakes.
Right.
And, you know, spiritually speaking, that's what God is all about. He's about forgiving us and helping us move forward.
Right.
And so we're going to dive more into this here in just a little bit. We have some incredible guests that are going to be here that we're going to be talking with. You want to stick around. You don't want to miss it. And I want to give a special shout out to our producers. They work so hard and making this happen behind the scenes. So shout out to Joel, to Josh. We love you guys. Thanks for working so hard. Appreciate y'all. And stick around. We'll be back in just a little bit. Woo.
Comebacker. They're going to go to second for one. Back to first, and that is a double play.
Going to snap it to Porter. He's got plenty of time. Porter going to fire. It's tipped in the air, and it's one-hand grab. There's a penalty marker down. Cruising across the...
The game's over. The Bears wait until the 7th to live off the great defense they've had today, and they pull it in.
The University of New Mexico, a Lobo. Fan favorite's going to go deep on first down. It's caught.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
At Extreme Clean, we understand your home is your most important investment. From carpet to tile and grout cleaning, we handle it all. Call Extreme Clean now to schedule 221-6440, extremecleannm.com.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Welcome back to the Live Sports in New Mexico show. My name is Chris, and I'm here with Brian, and we're here talking about our off-season training, what we can do during spring break, during our break time as student athletes. And we have to recognize that even as coaches too, it's a little bit different for us, because I think a lot of people they could take time off, but for student athletes, that's the time where I think more work needs to be put in, because not only are you a student athlete, I think you're just probably more of an athlete during the spring and summer, because academics you're taking the time off from that. But I think it's really important to when we have those break times as athletes to really focus on that. So today we have a great student athlete, and Melissa Mancha. She's a two-time state champion for Volcano Vista. Glad to have her on. She's a strong believer as well, good leader, and we just really want to get into knowing a little bit about her. So kind of really talk about, we're here talking about knowing your role and how to improve your role from freshman to sophomore. Kind of go through your process at your time at Volcano. I think you believe you won one your freshman year, and then you won one your junior year.
Yep.
And so kind of talk about how your role changed throughout that time.
So my freshman year, I was behind Hannah Fensky, great player. She's now at Navy. So I had to play behind her, Deja Battle, Bianca, and Raven Herrera. And so, I learned from them, looked at everything, saw how their attitudes were towards the game, and maybe I didn't play that much. I played in the state championship game, but even with less playing time, I still there's still things that needed to be done, whether it's communication on the bench, being the hype man, and just having
job.
and just having a good attitude, staying positive. Right. When everyone's negative, just keep it up.
Because I even think sometimes when I was a bench player too, is you kind of, if you're down, then everyone's kind of watching you, like, man, they're struggling through it. But if you're kind of that high person, like, man, even though they're not playing as much, they kind of inspire you. Yeah. So what about your sophomore year? What kind of changed there?
And then sophomore year, we lost. We actually didn't have any seniors, so we were a super young team, and a lot of people just haters. They just totally didn't think we were going to go far, and so we made the state tournament, and then we lost in the second round to Cibola, and then. So that was kind of like a year, it was like a blur almost. Does
it hurt a little bit more that it's Cibola, because I know that's your rival. So
Oh, yeah.
It definitely hurts a little bit more. So you get all right. So now you're into your junior year.
Yeah. So
This
then,
has to be memorable for you.
oh yeah, junior. Okay, wait. Sorry. Freshman year, like that was a feeling. Taking state, that was a feeling that I've absolutely never felt before.
Right.
Like it was so unreal,
Right.
and it was awesome. And then junior year, when we took state, it was still like crazy thinking about that we took state, and that was like a 2-time. But I mean, it wasn't like the same feeling as winning freshman year. But junior year season, we had six seniors. 4 seniors started, and I was the only non-senior starter. So I was like really used to how quick we played, and we just wanted to prove everyone wrong from last year. You know, so I mean, we were on fire.
Yeah, I think I even remember that year, or it was a few years ago. Who'd you guys beat in the state championship?
C-Blood.
C-Blood. So again, does that make it a little bit better?
Yeah.
That was because I didn't think C-Blood was the 1 seed, and they were kind of like written off. They were saying just C-Blood's going to win it. No.
Oh yeah.
You guys were the 2 seeds, like no one's even close, but
Yeah.
you guys did it.
So what would you do during your times of break, spring break, summer break, to set yourself apart to get better?
We would always, so going into my sophomore year, I was always at the gym. I was always practicing, and my dad would work with me, and he bought me a ladder so I could work on my footwork, and because that was bad. My footwork was rough. And then just like little things. I mean, it didn't have to be like, and a huge thing for me was I like to keep it low key. You know, like so people don't think I'm working, and like people are just like, she's not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like low key, just like putting in that grind for sure, and working hard.
Yeah, because I even think even today we talked about social media in the first segment. People even are posting their workouts on social media, and I'm like, I didn't really have social media growing up, but it's something like I don't want you to know how good I'm becoming, because I want to gain that edge. So I think that's really important. Kind of talk about also not just putting in the time, but also putting the quality, where we kind of talked about before about the process of imperfection, how you have to kind of go through mistakes. So what's your take on that? What advice can you give to players that are working through right now this spring and summer?
That it's okay to fail, because I mean, I've fallen so many times, made free throws that I should have made to win a game, layups, wide open layups. Just work on the little things.
Wait a minute, you've missed layups?
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone misses layups.
Okay, so just so everyone knows, it's okay to miss a layup. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Just work on it after. And then
just keep working.
Yeah, and if you're good at something, strive to be great at it, like you guys said.
Yeah, that's what we always talk about that evil to being great is being good. So also talk about, I mean, your career is really up and down. You win one, you win a championship, you lose in the second round, you win one, you lost this year in the second round. What has, throughout your 4 years, what has kept you grounded? Because I know sometimes when you win championships, when you win these things, we just talked about before, you made first team All-State, all these accolades you have. But what keeps you grounded? What is your identity as a person? What do you want people to know? How do you want people to know you?
I want people to know me as a hard worker, whether I get those little achievements, first team, All-State, state champ. Regardless of all that, just a hard worker and someone who doesn't give up, because it's really easy to do that.
Good. And I think even what I've also seen too is your faith, and you even see it on the court. There's sometimes when your team is down and you're the one to pick them up. Just really talk about how important do you think that really is, especially for some players. Maybe they're just bench players, and maybe they are the leaders. Why is it so important? Like, as a leader, you have to keep your faith strong through adversity, through tough times. Why is that so important?
I think, there's so many reasons, but gosh, that's a good question.
Well, what do you think about, like, when you're going through adversity and there's just these tough times? why do you need somebody like that glue person to kind of hold you guys together?
I mean, if that person is like the rock of your team, and a lot of people will feed from that. So many people are just feeding from whether it's a negative attitude or a positive attitude. And I think in every single on every team, there has to be that one person that's positive, because if not, it's not going to work. It's just not.
And it doesn't matter where it's coming from, right? It doesn't matter if it's the person that's getting 2 minutes a game or the leader.
Matter.
I think you have to have somebody. So that's definitely something our viewers could think about, is like what role can you take? Whatever role you're in, you could always be a leader. You could always be that person to lead. So I think Brian's ready for his rapid fire round for Melissa.
Rapid fire. Are you ready? What is your favorite kind of food?
Sushi.
Where is your favorite place to go on vacation?
Jamaica. I've been there once.
Nice. What favorite flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike. Oh, Adidas. I'm sorry. It just depends. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
She's trying to say both at the same time.
Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We want to tell you that we are so proud of you. You've had a great career, and man, we just believe God has some awesome things for your future. Just keep following Him, and He's really going to bless you always. So
thank you.
Congratulations on everything. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either He's Lord of all, or He is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know Him and follow His teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Graphic Connection is your source for quality custom sports apparel inspired by the athletes that wear it. Graphic Connection offers in-house graphics, embroidery, digital printing, and screen printing, enabling us to offer custom products with fast turnaround to suit both your budget and your timeline. Graphic Connection is New Mexico's exclusive Cornette digital garment printer shop. The print resolution is unparalleled. Contact Graphic Connection today at 505-821-2777 or visit us online at www.gcsportswear.com.
Ladera Golf Course on Albuquerque's west side features spacious greens, 27 holes with outstanding practice facilities, and beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains, nestled at the foot of the volcanoes. Our 300-person banquet room and bridal suite is perfect for all occasions. Customize your room with color, chair covers, table linen, dinner, and champagne. Visit our cafe and bar with daily specials and happy hour, plus our full-service golf pro shop. For tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449.
The Barley Brew, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmers agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
Welcome back to the Live Sports in New Mexico show. We're talking about our break time, basically, what we need to do as student athletes. Melissa Mancha, two-time state champion, first team All-State, did a really good job of explaining what she did and what she needed to do in her time as an athlete over at Volcano Vista. Now we have another guy, his name is Fernando Cadena, another guy, Volcano Vista state champion. How does that feel, first of all?
Well, it was an unbelievable moment once we won. It was I was very confused at first. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it because we had a rough season in the beginning with just losing. We came in the state tournament with a losing streak, so it was hard to gain our confidence back. But as we started to win a couple games in the state tournament, we started to become more together and more confident as a team.
Yeah, and you guys looked like that. I mean, it looked loose. You guys looked a little bit better. And the reason why we also have Nando on, because he's one of those on the court, off the court, really good type of guys. And so Fernando was a guy that, you know, he was a good practice player. He played hard. He practiced hard. He was the first one in the gym and last one out. I remember when I was over at Volcano, I would keep track who was first one in, first one out, and Nando was definitely somebody that was someone that didn't get as much playing time. So even for the players, it was kind of confusing for them because he just worked hard, even though he never pouted, he never complained, he just did what he was asked. So really talk to those people kind of in your position. I know there's a lot of student athletes right now kind of in that position where they had to just be a strong practice player and they had to play hard. And when you got in the game, you did your thing. You know, you brought your team, you brought them energy. So really kind of talk about that experience throughout your 4 years.
Well, it's kind of hard being bench player. It was like, because you want to play, but sometimes you just got to know your role. So in practice, just got to get everyone else around you better. Always having a positive attitude, never be negative about it. So in practice, I would always have a great attitude about it. I wouldn't complain. Never went to coach once about why ain't I getting playing time. I just always was in the gym trying to work on my game. I would even invite other people to work on their game too at the same time. So it's hard at first, but then that's why I think I got so much respect on the team because I led by example that it doesn't matter if you play or not. It's just like being together as a family and not putting yourself before your team. It's being unselfish.
And let me say that it's not like he's not very good. I play pickup with I mean, he's got
tough.
some skills.
He's tough.
He's got some skills. And so I have a quick question just to kind of jump in on your career and as you looking back in your senior season, what is one of your top memories that you have, or what's kind of the greatest moment, maybe besides the state championship, that you can think on in your career?
Greatest moment? That's a tough question. Probably greatest moment was probably when we beat Rio Rancho in the first round, probably. Even though it meant a lot, it was just like that's where we started to like be more together and be as one. We just like went out there and did our thing, gain our confidence back because everyone was expecting us to lose, coming in as a 12th seed.
State champs. I mean, you played in the same. It's funny because Rio Rancho was the 11th seed last year, and they're kind of one that they did their Cinderella story, but then they see you guys. They kind of passed the torch to you guys and did that. But, you know, and let me say this because I think people out there need to know that I don't think Volcano Vista wins the state champion if they don't have a guy like him. I mean, just somebody that's, you know, he challenged his players to get better.
Right.
I think, I remember seeing him in the gym and other guys were like, man, why is he work? I don't want him to outwork me. And so they would push each other until they work on. Like what Nando said is that he would get other guys better. He would help them get better. So I think teams definitely need that kind of guy in the locker room and on the team. So just really kind of talk about what was your kind of routine like during spring break or summer break? What did you do, you know, during those times?
During those times, I would try to get people with me to go sports and wellness or go ask my coaches to open the gym for us so we could get some pickup games. Just like put in work because if you're sleeping, just know someone else is working harder than you.
There you go.
Someone is always trying to be better, and you just have to outwork them in any way you can.
Right. And going through this time too, as you know, you're working hard, you're fighting hard, you're still not getting playing time. But what has really kept you grounded? What was something that, you know, you wanted to be identified as? Somebody that worked hard, someone that's very faithful. Well, what was it for you?
Well, it was just people like looking up to me. That's what I like. They don't have to be down on themselves thinking they're not good enough just because they're not getting playing time. So I think because I would watch motivational videos and read pretty much scripture too to help me throughout those times. And I think one that stood up to me was that I forgot who said it, but they said like when you're down, just look up, get up, but never give up. So I kind of lived by that, and also anything is possible through strength. through Christ who strengthens me. So.
Yeah, really good. And I see you're wearing the active faith stuff. I love that stuff. The In Jesus' Name I Play, and I think that's something you really show people. Like, you really do play for Jesus, and you are faithful. You serve on your team. I mean, you're church goer, church member, all that stuff. So it's, I think, in hand, God's definitely going to bless you through your time at Volcano, and then now your life to come.
And I think one of the things that we've really learned today as a whole from you, Chris, from Melissa, from Nando, never underestimate the value of hard work. You may not see the payoff right away. You may not understand why you're not seeing results right away, but just trust God and know that it will pay off, that there is a blessing coming, and man, I know that God has good things coming your way, and you keep working hard, and again, we're proud of you too. So it's important for all of us, a lesson for me too. Even as you get into a career, you go into business or whatever happens in the future, always work hard, and you'll be successful. So Chris, it's time for another rapid fire round.
There you go.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. Me and you both.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Favorite football team?
Chargers.
Yes. Yeah.
San Diego Chargers.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, probably, I don't know, probably The Hobbit, I guess.
The Hobbit?
Battle of Five Armies.
Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show, American Dad.
Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food, burgers.
Okay.
Favorite burger place?
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Good call.
Ooh, big one.
Good call.
But Nando, again, thank you for being on the show. I'm pretty sure a lot of guys are going to be inspired for the guys that take your position and take your role. And we're happy for you, we're proud of you, and we're happy to see what happens.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, thank you for joining us on the Live Sports in New Mexico show. We'll see you next week with some other guests, and we'll definitely be excited and looking forward to having those guys on. We'll see you next week.